Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Hello, my name is Dave Chappelle. I'm the founder and CEO of TeachStreet. So to explain what TeachStreet is, before I get started, really, I'd like to ask the audience to just shout out for me some things that you've learned recently, or that you want to learn, or your children maybe want to learn. Could people just shout that out? Spanish? Quantum physics. What was that? Tango. Photography. So that's what TeachStreet is. We're building a place where you can learn anything. And in order to do that, we have to build a marketplace that has both teachers or schools that can teach you those things, and find a great discovery experience for if you come back inspired from a trip, you're rested, you say, I really want to learn Spanish, that we can grab you right there and find a great local teacher in your neighborhood for you to meet with face-to-face. So it's not about online learning, it's not about video learning. We look at that as potentially a feature over time. What we're trying to do right now isn't to really transform or change people's behavior, it's to take existing behavior, which is class taking in face-to-face settings, and bring the efficiency of the web to help teachers and schools grow, find and grow and manage their businesses much more effectively. So while we've created the student experience and around all these lessons, where it started with was I wanted to take a scooter class. I bought a scooter to get around town. And before I started the company, I used to take a lot of classes. And so what you'll find on TeachStreet are things like skiing. Snowboarding I've recently taken Lindy Hop lessons. You can learn wine appreciation, etc. What ties this all together is that students are trying to learn these things. But ultimately, we have teachers that are passionate about teaching or running businesses, let's say, but they're not passionate about technology. And what we've assembled is a small team, there's 7 of us, with backgrounds, marketplace businesses at Google, Amazon, etc., to build easy-to-use tools for teachers and schools to publish their classes one place on TeachStreet, and we help promote those classes everywhere their customers are going to want to find them. First and foremost, of course, that's Google. So, we're driving the majority, 80% of our traffic from Google and these other websites. But we also syndicate their classes out to Craigslist, Facebook, Twitter, widgets that they can place on their own websites, and then help close the loop. And we tried to make it for today's announcement, missed it maybe by a week or two, but trying to close the loop with payments, messaging tools, analytics, so they know how their dollars are being spent and why they're effective. We've spent a lot of time in the last year plus what we call creating value. We know we've created value. We've sent almost 200,000 leads to the teachers on our site over the course of the last 14 months. We're going to be spending a lot of the next 12 months, I'll use a term from Matt or Madrona, capturing value. So now's the time. We've proven that we can help these people build their businesses in a way that works for them. Now there's a way that we can capture some of that value in a way that makes sense when they're getting new customers or we're making their lives easier. The update on TeachStreet, we're live in 6 markets. We just announced today that we launched in Chicago. We're live in Seattle, the San Francisco Bay Area, New York, Denver, and Portland. I was trying to think, where is that other city in the Northwest? And Portland. We're actually available nationwide, but what we have is a team of overseas in the Philippines that before we launch in a city, we collect the data around the core subjects and categories, invite teachers to come claim their pages, and our claim rates are north of 20% in the cities that we're in. Why is that? It's because no one's gone after this market. While it looks like a niche market of individual teachers in small schools, this market is massive when you apply the internet and the scope of anything, and everybody can be a teacher over time. I sort of throw out, we're backed by great local investors. We also today announced an additional funding round, which should carry us out another 15 to 18 months, backed by Madrona Venture Partners, Bezos Expeditions, and Seattle investors. And one thing I did want to call out, because I think there might be 2 or 3 service providers in the room, that Andy Liu is vetting all service provider inquiries at andy@buddytv.com. You send them right to him. So ultimately, what you see here, I call this, we're trying to build an experience that anybody can use. It's not built for technologists. It's a WYSIWYG solution to list your classes, promote them, and monetize. So when we think about what is TeachStreet, we think of it as the best of Yelp, but more importantly, an open table. So we're the Yelp with UGC, reviews, ratings, etc. But what we're working on building in the next few weeks and months is closing the loop with payments, bid for featured placement, and other services that make sense on a pay-per-lead basis, which is a way that works for teachers and schools and works for students. Any company in the education space needs to end with a Gandhi slide. When we think about the mission and why we exist, TeachStreet's here to help people. We want you to live as if you were to die tomorrow, but learn as if you were to live forever. And there's something that all of you could want to learn or go out and take or teach someone else to help you lead a more inspiring life. Thank you. No questions? Great.
Oh, it's not that easy.
So do your service providers also encompass individual tutors?
Yeah, so we span everything from individual tutors. Actually, I teach an introduction to microfinance class or an introduction to poker class. Like, anybody can teach anything, but we span up to Seattle Central Community College and the motorcycle school where I took my class. It really is, you can think of it as an eBay for learning. So we're building a platform where anybody can list anything, but we're building the bulk tools so that big schools can load their classes in bulk, and we can drive them leads on a performance basis.
So not that anyone should enjoy slow economic times, but you could make a case that for you guys, you have folks that want to learn new skills, and you probably have a lot of experts that maybe don't have as much business as they used to have.
Yeah.
Or is that too optimistic?
I'd say it's a great PR message, and we would say it, but it's true. And it's true, I'll focus more on the teacher side. When we surveyed teachers, I'll say 9 months ago, a lot of the responses, or a good percentage of the responses, were saying, I'm pretty full. I get everything I need from word of mouth or flyers. When we surveyed them in January, I think it was 50 to 60% were looking to grow from we call it the sort of how many students you get in a month, how many would you like to get in a month? And instead of being on top of one another, meaning that they were pretty good shape, they were pivoted by one. And so it looks like their businesses have been hit and they're looking to grow.
Quick question. I mean, I'm not sure that it's so clear that there's no competition here because there's been so much done in computer-aided training and learning over the years it got confused. But look, if somebody went and bought the company in London that you mentioned.
School of Everything?
Yeah, School of Everything. Say a big guy who's got traction and muscle financially and distribution and feet in the street went and bought them. How does it affect you? Does that help you, or are you out of business?
That's a good question. I don't think about School of Everything that much. I think it affects me in that we'd have a bigger, more viable competitor. I think right now, School of Everything and School of Everything is probably the only other company that's really in this space. Just to say, there's a lot of things like Craigslist and cobbled together solutions like website builders that are in the space. But I think right now we're pretty separated geographically, even though they offer in the US and here. I think what makes us different is the DNA of our company is all technologists who built large-scale marketplaces at Amazon, Google, Zillow. I think that's what sets us apart. The right partnerships are always going to help.
What if Amazon buys them, though?
What's that?
What if Amazon buys them?
You could answer that. You could ask that question of any
Well, they
large
wouldn't,
company. I think
because got a conflict of interest there, but just something like that.
I think Jeff Bezos has a bigger conflict of interest, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think it would be
I know,
unlikely
I know.
since Jeff's an investor, but the question is more along the lines of what if Microsoft buys them, or what if
Yeah.
Google or Yahoo buys them? It would be a formidable competitor. I think, that acquirer would be making a mistake in probably acquiring the wrong company. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I'm just saying that our approach to it has been very technologically driven. We've built an engine that's built to be crawled and indexed. If we don't win the SEO game, we lose this space. That's just the way it is. And so we think about the business that way, from building from the data we collect, how the pages are built, how we're indexed, how we generate widget traffic, how we syndicate, how we partner. All of that is eventually or essentially around, we need to win. We have to win a search that says city, subject, the word class, teacher, learn, so New York piano class, Phoenix, yoga lesson. We have to win those searches. And so the approach that we're going after, I think, over the next 3 to 9 months is helping us secure that. And if Paul's watching via live stream, Paul, I don't mean that. We're not going to do any of those things. Paul's the CEO of School of Everything, and I think he's a friend. We're very well aligned mission-wise. I think we're just approaching it a little differently, or we have to date.
How are you going to monetize those teachers?
So that comes from Matt. Matt's been asking me that question every month for the last year and a half. Do you want me to answer that question, Matt? This is being streamed. So first, with bigger schools, we're going to monetize via lead gen. So schools that can, essentially feed thousands or tens of thousands of classes into the platform that makes sense for our customers. That's a pure lead gen. On the individual side, we'll be launching payments very, very soon. And the way we look at it is the first time a student pays a teacher, we'll take a first-time fee on that and then try to get that fee as low as possible for subsequent payments to keep them on the platform. Thank you. One thing I wanted to leave you with, can anybody read this? What is it?
Yes.
What do you think that stands for? Well, you could think street. Now, you could also think stupendous presentation. Or you could think shameless self-promotion. But what I'd like you to think of is when you do your text message later, considering texting S for TeachStreet for best presentation. Remember, folks, it's all about traffic. And with that, I'll bring you Andy Liu, the second best poker player in Seattle, and my World Series of Poker partner in crime.